Hello viewers on YouTube. In this video tutorial, we are going to focus on finding the mean of both group and ungrouped data. So first and first, let's talk about the formula that helps us to determine the mean. So for ungrouped data, which I will just write as UG, that's it, ungrouped data. The formula is such that X bar, which is the mean, is equal to the summation of X, where X is the max, divided by n, where n is the number of marks that is present in that problem. Now for group data, which I was just write as capital letter G, the mean is still represented as X bar, and this is equal to the summation of the frequency times the mark, because in this time around we might have a range of values within a class interval, you understand? So you have to multiply the frequency by the max, divided by the summation, the summation of f, where that will be the sum of the frequency. So those are the formulas we have to put into account depending on the kind of problem we are dealing with. So let's begin with example number 1 to make good use of these formulas. Consider this distribution. Take for instance, we have to determine the mean. So first, you must be able to identify if the data you are having is a group or ungrouped data. For ungrouped data, it will be listed out like this, and you will be required to group it using the frequency distribution table. You just be required to find the mean. So that helps you, or that shows that you are dealing with an ungrouped data. It's a good indication of it. But for group data, it would have been arranged in the frequency distribution table. But if not, it will be listed, but you will be required to arrange it or group it using the frequency distribution table. And then you will know that you are dealing with a group data. So to find the mean, these are the marks. The goal is just to find X bar. In all cases, always write the formula first, since we know that X bar will be the summation of the marks, which is the summation of X, divided by n, where n is the number of the marks. So therefore, we are adding all these values together. That will be 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus 10 plus 12, then plus 14. And we are dividing by how many? 1, 2, 4, 6. So there are 6 in numbers, so divided by 6. So the addition would result in what? So let's add that together. 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus 10 plus 12 plus 14. That gives us 54. So we have 54 divided by 6. And when we divide 54 by 6, we will get 9. So therefore, the X bar is equal to 9. And that's how to easily determine the mean or average of an ungrouped distribution or ungrouped data. Example number 2. Consider the following problem. Find the value of x that makes the mean of the distribution to be equal to 5. The distribution is such that we have 3, 4, 1, x, 5, and 8. So we are given x bar to be equal to 5. The goal is to find the missing data. So what should we do? What do you think? Feel free to pause the video and figure this out. Well, all we need to do is to assume we want to find x bar with these to be known, but yet we know that it's unknown. So to find x bar, if this is known, we know that all we need to do is to add this up and divide by their quantity. So x bar is equal to the summation of x divided by n. So adding all this distribution, we have 3 plus 4 plus 1 plus x plus 5 plus 8. And we are dividing by 6. How many are there? There are 6 in quantity. 2, 4, 6. Perfect. Now the goal at this point, since x bar is given to be equal to 5, then all we need to do is to set this entire value to be equal to 5. So therefore, I'm going to put that here, equals to 5. Now we can solve this expression by just cross multiplying. Now if we multiply both sides by 6 or cross multiply, notice that we now have 3 plus 4 plus 1 plus x plus 5 plus 8 to be equals to 6 times 5. Perfect. Now we can add all the values that are addable together. 3 plus 4 results in 7 plus 1 gives us 8. And when we add 8 to it, we have 16. When we add 5 to it, we have 21. So 21 plus x equals to 6 times 5 results in 30. Now we can subtract 21 from both sides and end up with the value of x to be equal to 30 minus 21. And x is equal to 9. And that's how you can solve for the value of x. And this is another way in which problems can come involving finding the mean of a data. Now what about group data? How can we find the mean of a group data? Let's look into that as well. On to example number 3. The data has already been grouped using a frequency distribution table, a tally table, because tally is involved. These are the class intervals, and we have the tally follows. Then again is the frequency. To find the mean of a group data, don't forget we said x bar is equal to the summation of f times the mark divided by the summation of f. So it means there are some quantities we have to put into account. We need x. We also need fx. Then eventually we need their sum and the sum of f. So these are the 4 things we have to put into consideration. Only f is what is given. Can we determine the value of x? And after that, we find fx. Note, fx means the frequency times the mark. So how can we find x? To find x, the goal is just to add the class interval. Add this together. We call this one the lower limit, while this is the upper limit. Add the lower and upper limit together and divide them by 2. It's just as if we are taking the average. Notice that 4 plus 0 gives us 4. And we divide that by 2, we have 2. 5 plus 9 gives us 14. We divide by 2, we have 7. 10 plus 14 gives us 24. Dividing by 2, we have 12. 15 plus 19 gives us 34. Dividing by 2, we have 17. This is 12. Okay, we have 17. 24 plus 20, we have 44. Dividing by 2, we have 22. And this is how to get the corresponding marks or the values of x. So just add those values together and divide them by 2. If you're having point something, it's fine. You understand? It doesn't mean anything. You can have a whole number, you can have a decimal number. Perfect. Now the goal at this point is to find fx. We said fx is the frequency times the mark, which means for this class interval 0 to 4, its fx will be 3 times 2, which gives us 6. The next one is 6 times 7. You notice that will give us 42. 8 times 12 gives us 96. 4 times 17 would result in 68. And 3 times 22 will result in 66. Now we have the column for fx to be filled up. The goal is to find the sum. You can write the sum below it. Then the sum, we don't need the sum of x, but the sum of f. So let's add all the frequencies together. 3 plus 6 is 9. 9 plus 8 is 17. 17 plus 4 is 21. 21 plus 3 is 24. So let's add the fx. To add that, let me make use of my calculator. 6 plus 42 plus 96 plus 68 plus 66. I got 278. So the goal now, I have everything I need to determine the mean. So therefore, the mean or the average now becomes 278, which is the sum of fx divided by the sum of f, which is 24. So dividing that by 24, we got 11.58. And this is our mean. And this is how to easily and mentally find the mean of both grouped and ungrouped data. I hope you find this helpful and understandable. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. I'm going to end the video at this point. So this is your exercise. So find the mean of this data and share your solution with me via the comment section below. Bye for now.